Greetings and salutations, everyone. It's time for another episode of Viewport Relay, a bi-weekly podcast where the Viewport team looks at the latest news in the gaming industry. As always, I'm your host, Albert Corson, joined by Tristan John.
Hello!
And Alex Nestor.
Hey!
It is the 5th month of the year.
It's Star Wars Day.
Hey, when this comes out, it'll be over Star Wars Day.
Star Wars canceled.
Star Wars is well, after that last movie to come out, maybe it should be.
Oh.
But in other words, it's May. And you know what that means? It's 1 month before. That was a dramatically long pause.
Yeah.
But it's 1 month before E3, guys. Which means the next 2 episodes might have some potential E3 hype surrounding them. The aroma. Can you smell it? Or is that just me?
Not quite. I haven't gotten the leaks yet, if there have been any. So it's been tight-lipped so far.
But we know Konami's not going to be there.
Yeah, they're working on very important developments. Figuring out those pachinko machines, how to make them even better.
I'm telling you, they're bringing him back.
If it happens, I don't even know what to bet. What to do if he comes back.
Chapter 3 is released after all these years.
Oh my god.
Wait, we're all talking about Cliffy B, right? I think that was the joke last time. Yeah.
Oh. I was not thinking that, but okay.
No. Of course I meant Kojima.
You meant Gabe Newell.
I meant Gabe Newell.
Okay.
Konami's buying out Valve.
To develop a Ricochet 3 gacha game for mobile.
To remake Artifact once again.
Artifact as a pachinko machine.
As Tristan said, Artifact is now an artifact. All right. We're going to start out today with what you've been playing, as usual. And then we'll have something special after this. But we're going to let Tristan start first, because he always has a lot of stuff.
Wow. Wait, don't you usually force me to go last because of that?
Well, we're going to round robin it.
Okay.
You know, hot potato. Potato.
Can I be honest?
Sure.
What if I said no? What if I said no?
I don't know. I haven't really... Okay. Never mind.
I don't believe you. You're being not honest if you say you haven't really played
this
many
is sus
games.
right now.
Okay. I'll name 3 games. How about that?
No, name all. What have you been playing?
I've been playing... The most recent big one has been Returnal. The bite-sized review is out on my Twitter at 3timestan. It's 1,000 words long.
Yeah, you're going to have to open up your mouth for this one.
It's
a big bite.
This
open
is
up your eyes.
European dinner. It's a 7-course meal.
How many tweets comprise the whole...
I don't know, but I hit the limit of tweet thread on Twitter. I had to tweet out the first bunch and then add on more afterwards.
Oh no.
I might actually just port it over to the website at this point because it's very long.
Yeah, imagine at this point you've basically written an article in itself.
Yeah. I've been enjoying it a lot.
This is the new norm. You know, Jason Schreier in a couple, in a year from now is just going to be posting all of his Bloomberg articles as tweet chains.
Yeah.
A Bloomberg twit longer or whatever people use to get past the limit.
Yeah, I've been enjoying it so far. It is very difficult. But I don't know how deep I want to get into it since I tweeted the whole thing out. What do you want me to talk about?
Is it fun?
It's fun. Is it worth $70?
Is 70? Oh,
probably not.
It's that Sony produced premium price point.
The Sony Studios production?
Okay, I haven't seen much about this game, so I'll just ask a couple quick questions.
Mm-hmm.
Is it just a shooter, a shooter, what roguelike?
I called it the Dark Souls of third-person shooter roguelikes.
Unironically? Okay.
Well, I half and half? I don't know.
Some power-ups and stuff, every run, how do you power up between, how does every run different?
Okay. Yeah. Let me actually get into it. So the map composition is like a roguelike. Each section of the map are handcrafted, right? So it's not just randomly generated code. But the sequence of how you get them is random. So that's
as
one
in the
aspect.
levels?
Yeah, the levels. So
Okay.
the game is broken into biomes. So every biome has a boss at the end, and when you kill the boss, you get to go to the next biome. So
Is it the same boss every time?
it's the same boss every time. And once you've beaten a biome's boss, you can actually skip that biome the next time around. So it's up to the player. It's like a risk and reward, right? Do you spend more time in the biome to get more items and upgrades, or do you just kind of like rush to the next thing? That's where
Do they get stronger over time? Is it like Risk of Rain?
No.
Or is it just...
No.
Interesting.
Yeah, I know. So it's just more of a time commitment aspect more than anything. So the randomization comes from a couple different things. There's the items that you get. There's the guns that you find, and each gun, there's different types of guns, and each gun also has randomized stats. And each gun also has a power level, which goes up the more enemies that you kill. So you're incentivized to kill more enemies to level up the gun drops that you get. And the fun part, the actual trade-off of the game, are these malignant or malfunctions that you get. So sometimes you can pick up a very powerful item, but it gives you like a negative buff. So a negative buff is maybe, for example, every time you pick up items, you take damage.
Reminds me of Synthetic, remember? They had the curse weapons.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you can get rid of these malfunctions in different ways, but that's where a lot of the roguelike parts come in. But in terms of the gameplay itself, it's more of a bullet hell shooter. It's kind of like Monster Hunter, and the reason I say Dark Souls is because you gotta learn the enemy's patterns and movements and stuff, and you gotta like...
Isn't that like every game?
Is The Witness like that game? I don't know.
Well, I'm thinking like Enter the Gungeon, right? You learn like the enemy's patterns and their...
Oh yeah, that's also a shoot 'em up bullet hell.
It's the Dark Souls of top...
No, but
I'm sorry.
Stop.
The fun part about this game is it rewards you for not getting hit. So the more enemies that you kill without getting hit, you build up this thing called adrenaline, and every level of adrenaline, you get like a little tiny perk. Either you do a little bit more melee damage, or you get more currency drops, etc.
I like that.
But...
Have you won? Have you won?
I am currently... I almost beat the boss of the second biome.
You don't sound that far. How many biomes are there?
I don't want to spoil that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm about 6 hours in. I feel like I'm on pace with kind of what a normal playthrough would look like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is there like here's my biggest question. Is there like I assume it sounds like there is, but do you get stronger between every run? And is there like a side progression system that's persistent throughout runs?
So this is where the other parts of the Dark Souls comes in. You can unlock more items and little tiny buffs, but there aren't that many huge carryover upgrades from run to run.
Okay.
It's kind of like Binding in the sense where more items are unlocked for the drop pool, but it's not like Rogue Legacy where you just like start off with a buff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the only other thing I can think of is you kind of get some suit upgrades that are kind of like Metroid. Yeah. Like you'll get a grapple hook and some other equipment that'll kind of help you.
Is that permanent?
Yes.
Okay.
And those are kind of like backtrack progression kind of things that let you get more treasure stuff and opportunity.
Anyways, the best feature about that game is the HD Rumble or whatever it's called on Sony.
Haptic feedback. When you're running around in the rain.
Isn't it called adaptive triggers?
Oh, that's a separate thing. Adaptive triggers are also used in the game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But when you're running around in the rain and it's raining on you, like the controller, like it has like these like really small vibrations and it feels like you're getting rained on, which is really nice.
Your hands are getting rained on.
Yeah. So that's the one big game. The other two, I'll just gloss over really quickly. Been continuing to play Final Fantasy VI. Check out my Let's Play, basically, on Twitter. I've been spending more time writing those tweet threads than actually playing the game at this point. And the new TFT set came out, so I'm deep in the Battle Pass.
Oh, man. Now I understand. Dude, I have a friend who today was like, oh yeah, dude, I've been playing so much TFT again,
Mm-hmm.
and now you said this, and it just all added. It all adds up.
They mix things up. Okay, it's been very refreshing. I don't want to go too deep into it, but it's been a lot of fun. That's all I had. Well, I have some overlap, but Alex will cover for me.
Oh, okay. I'll go into it then. So yeah, the overlap game I think will end up being basically Call of Duty Modern Warfare multiplayer, and then also Warzone itself. So yeah, I've been actually diving into actual Modern Warfare's multiplayer, which has actually been quite a bit of fun, honestly. I've been having a lot of fun ranking up my guns and stuff, unlocking stuff. It's still very fast-paced. I'm still getting used to that much.
Old gamer right
I
here.
know. It's crazy what kind of movement people can do when they're playing at like a high level in that game. But I'm getting there. I'm getting better. And then Warzone, I don't know. I'm still learning it. 'Cause the time to kill in Warzone is actually like way different than in normal Call of Duty multiplayer. You have to actually like track people kind of better. Whereas in multiplayer, it's just kind of, you get the initial burst off and you'll usually kill the person. But yeah.
What do you think of Baby's First Battle Royale? What do you think of the genre?
I don't know if I'm quite sold on it. I don't know. Warzone, it's kind of iffy. I don't know. I like the aspect of like running around and getting into firefights and stuff, but it feels like there's a lot of camping aspects to it too, which are things I really don't care about. Kind of what drew me away from like PUBG or ever trying it.
Oh man, PUBG.
Which I think is like the king of probably having very campy
bushes.
sections, or like sitting on a rooftop or something like that for minutes on end. That part I don't care for much, but yeah.
Just imagine that, but you can't buy back to come back to life. Mm-hmm. You just wasted 20 minutes because some guy's sitting in a bush.
I think that's why I like playing the Rebirth Island map a lot more. Because that's like just a series of tactical 3v3s. Rather than camping and getting equipment for 20 minutes.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Yeah, the optional smaller scale map is definitely way more fun in my opinion. Just because you get into the action faster, it's usually easier to get a decent gun, and then just kind of use your gamer skills to outlast the opponents and try to outmaneuver them and stuff. Other than that, I've also been diving into the Nier 1 remake, Replicant. So it's got all the good and bad parts of the original Nier.
We need the full title.
Oh, man. Version 1.2237. I don't know the rest.
I think you're missing like 10 digits.
Yeah, there's at least like 7 more. But yeah, it's definitely a very faithful remake, and it's so weird still hearing lines that I'm used to hearing the old Nier father say, that now the Nier boy is saying. But yeah, I've been enjoying it. It's very pretty, honestly. It's way prettier than Automata was. And I've been playing on PC, and surprisingly not really running into any bugs or issues. I know people have been saying that if your frame rate's too high, the game will just be sped up completely.
Oh, it's one of them?
Yeah, like if you have a 144 hertz monitor, you'll have like twice the speed, basically.
Yeah, the frame rate's tied to the game speed.
Yep. But other than that, I haven't really heard too many other issues from people, but then again, I haven't really been looking, and I haven't been running into any myself, so I haven't really minded.
That's kind of how a lot of these things work. Like when the PC port of Horizon Zero Dawn came out, it was like if you were one of the, I mean, there's a lot of people who had trouble running it, but there was a small subset of people who were like, I have no issues. If you have no issues, you're just like, oh, cool. Yeah,
and then I thought maybe, just maybe, this remake would have a bigger install base, or like have better sales or something, and I watched one stream and I realized nobody cares about Nier 1 after Automata. Nobody knew if this game was a sequel, a prequel, or what in chat, so...
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess Automata didn't, make people interested at all in this game. So it makes sense, because I think I've seen the Steam numbers, and the highest peak for Nier 1 was 8K or something.
Gamer Rant said Nier Replicant claims top sales spot on Steam.
Interesting. Although I can't say I really know what else came out the same week as Nier, so that might help it.
Let's see if I can find anything real quick. It charted #1 in the UK. I mean, there's not a lot of games coming out right now, so let's be honest, charting #1's not
other
huge,
than like Returnal. If you actually happen to own a PS5.
Yeah, I thought I saw somewhere that it did break 1 million copies, but maybe I was wrong when I saw that.
That would honestly be impressive if it did break 1 million copies. It is very much a old JRPG in every sense.
Okay, never mind. I don't know. Maybe I made that number up, but who knows?
Mm-hmm. All that matters is I'm having fun with it. So
hey, that's all that really matters.
That's it. That's all I got.
All right, I'll finish it off. Not too much of a change for me. I've been playing a lot of Monster Hunter. The new update came out. There's a lot of new monsters returning. Pretty fun. Without even noticing, I've hit 107 hours in that game.
Oh my god.
It's so easy in a Monster Hunter.
Oh, it's so easy, yeah. So yeah, pretty fun. And then the other game I've mainly been playing, I was like scrolling through my Steam games. We brought up the backlog thing last episode, and I was like, what games in my backlog do I want to play? And then I was like, Far Cry 5. I bought that on sale during the winter sale. And then I never played it. So then I installed that game, and I think I'm like, probably like 2/3 through.
Oh my god, I keep forgetting to install that game.
Yeah, Tristan was going to play with me, and I'm going to beat it before he even has a chance to install it. So
I'm turning on Uplay right now. Or, sorry, Ubisoft Connect.
Thank you. Our Ubisoft overlords appreciate the brand recognition.
How is virtual Montana compared to real Montana?
There's some really funky... Well, maybe not Montana itself, but there's like funny moments in the game where it's like you shoot a guy and his body flies like 30 feet in the air for some reason.
Oh, nice.
But I mean, it's a really good looking game. For a 2017 game, it looks really good. I've noticed the reason why it looks so good is because it has really heavy, hardcore, like, what's the term? Like when it not clipping, but like when draw distance, I guess is the word, right? Where like once you're a certain
level
distance away from something, it like loads at a lower quality. Like it's, maybe I haven't checked, I should double check my settings, but like if there's anything like 120 meters out or further, like it like dramatically drops.
Yeah, it just becomes like a flat surface basically.
Yeah. But if you're close to things, it looks really nice, and it runs really well too. So, pretty happy on that. Because I remember last year sometime, I eventually picked up Far Cry 4 because I really like 3, and then I played like 2 hours and then I dropped it. I was like, like this game is really similar to Far Cry 3, and like the map doesn't really interest me, and the story was kind of like at that point. So but Far Cry 5, like it's like a minor rehaul of stuff. So, and the guns feel a lot better in a way, like a lot more difficult to use. It's not a really like super straightforward like point and click thing. So, pretty fun.
It'll be playable in 10 minutes.
Oh man, I don't know how it's gonna work though. I'm way ahead of you.
You can carry me.
I mean, you can get like a really good gun in like 10 minutes. So, you'll be fine. If not, you can just run around with a shovel and hit people with it. Alrighty. Before we get into the news, we have built out we brought it up last episode, but we've built out essentially the common framework for how we're going to handle a new little ongoing series. I don't know what we're going to call it. Ongoing event. In that we have, and by we I mean mainly Tristan, but we in general
excuse me,
have a backlog of games that we haven't played, and we need some motivation to play them. So we are going to bet our fellow podcast hostees essentially a challenge to complete or, play or do a certain thing in a game, usually just beat the game, but if it's a really long game, who knows? But to do that within a certain time frame, otherwise if they don't play the game in their backlog and beat it, they have to do a punishment. That's essentially the gist. There's not really a reward for doing these bets. The reward is you get to finish a game on your backlog. So the overall goal is like, hey, you got to play a game that you've wanted to play, but don't have enough mental fortitude to actually install the game.
Commit to it yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully the threat of negative consequences will help. Oh, great.
Good parenting.
Good parenting. Some basic things before we go, or not before we go, before I start with our inaugural bets, will be that it works in a system of there is a bet proposer and a bet owner. So the owner will be the person who is going to actually take on the bet, has to play the game. Proposer is the person who's like essentially negotiating a deal with them. So they'll propose the bet, they will enter a small negotiation period, and then they will either accept or reject the bet. Because if the bet owner doesn't, it has to make them to get to play the game, and if the conditions are unrealistic, then, they're not going to accept. And I don't want to, we want this to be fun, so I don't want to force anyone to have to if they make a proposal, you have to accept it. That's not fun. So,
you, literally off recording, you told me I had to win LCS.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, got it.
If I can make it easier, you can win NA. LCS. That's
LCS
easier,
is
right?
NA. Oh, or did you say Worlds? I forgot.
You have to win Worlds. Sorry, you have to win Worlds is what I meant.
Okay.
Yeah, LCS is nothing.
Okay. Perfect. There is some stuff on altering bets once they've been made, but we won't touch into that because we're not going to, these are going to be brand new bets, so no one should having to alter anything.
We're bet masters. Whatever bets we make this episode are going to be so perfect that we're never going to have to alter them.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. No negotiations required.
So these are backstreet, back alley bets, or abbreviated B3, because, it sounds like E3, right?
Mm-hmm.
And any bet that gets certified will be written into the big book of bets, also known as B3. And that's it. I open the floor to any proposals at this time.
Okay. I think it's time to strike the hammer already.
Oh my god, are you serious?
The big one. It has to come out immediately. Everybody wants it.
Everybody wants it. They've been waiting.
Alright. I, Alex, bid Tristan the following proposal. You must play through to the ending credits FF7 Remake. Specifically the intergrade version if you want to. By the end of July. So that gives you about a month and a half between the release on PS5 to actually complete the game. And then there's a bonus if you can complete the secret boss. We can determine the bonus later because just beating the game is one part. Getting for the secret boss, that'll take some more effort. But yeah, if you do not complete this challenge, and by the way, it has to be normal difficulty, no classic mode.
At least normal. Oh no, you can't play hard until you've beaten the game.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. So it has to be normal difficulty. And your punishment, if you are unable to beat the game on normal by the end of July, that means if you have to drop the game or whatever, you have to write a bite-sized review detailing in detail why you were unable to finish the game.
Oh no.
I
feel like that's a cop-out, though.
What do you mean, in terms of
he could just play an hour and be like, I don't want to play the rest of this. And then he's like, I'm just not going to do it. And then all of his punishment
I guess so, but then he has to have a pretty damn good bite-sized review why the first hour
this one's actually bite-sized. It'll be like one tweet.
Yeah.
An actual bite-sized
review. The game sucks.
Cloud's hair is too big.
Too big. Just for some context, Tristan, the Intergrade update comes out June 10th.
Uh-huh.
So
can I does the save transfer over? Can I get a head start and then transfer the save?
I think they said it does.
Yeah,
yes, they did say it does because they said you can take your save file to start the Intergrade DLC.
Okay.
But the Intergrade DLC is not part of
It is not. No, this is just beat the base game.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, 'cause I believe the Yuffie DLC is a separate purchase, so I don't want to make you commit to a purchase and you don't like the game, so you never reach it.
And then he has to write a...
why he doesn't like the DLC
why he beat
either.
the game but didn't buy the DLC.
I'm just on their website. I want to make sure the save transfers over.
He's researching the conditions.
Yeah.
The terms and conditions.
So will my PS4 save data carry over to PS5? Yes. You know what? Easy money. That gives me one extra month?
Yeah. If you start now, you'll play it at a silky smooth 30 FPS.
Yeah.
Or you could wait and play it at a beautiful, exquisite PS5 graphical quality that only Sony can provide.
Alright, let's do it. I will accept this bet.
Alright. It is written. Put it in the big book of bets. Is there any other proposals?
Is there a big book of bets? Where is the actual book?
You know, the big book of bets,
Do I need to type it up while editing?
No. I mean... We'll put it in after.
Okay, I'll figure it out.
It's gonna be a spreadsheet, okay?
Yeah.
Don't tell anyone.
Gonna highlight that. Unless people are gonna like double up on Final Fantasy VII Remake, that'd be mean.
No, Alex and I collaborated on who would write the bet, because it wouldn't make sense for me to spend 10 minutes writing it if we were both gonna write it.
He with the double. You have to play it twice.
Alex went light on you with the punishment.
I know. I got some really mean ones up my sleeve.
Oh no! Don't do this.
I mean, not even like a monetary.
You know what?
thing.
I'm gonna go out first then. I, Albert, propose a bid to Alex. I just screwed up the line. Let me say that again. You can edit that out.
Oh, it's not legally binding anymore.
It's not legally binding. No, that wasn't a legal bet.
I cannot entertain this bet.
Yeah, I can't entertain that bet. I, Albert, bid Alex the following proposal. You need to beat the video game to the end credits of Persona 5 Strikers by Labor Day, Monday, September 6th. And your punishment, if you do not beat this game by Monday, September 6th, is you will have to deliver a 5-minute monologue live on the podcast as to why Death Stranding is the greatest video game ever made.
Oh my god.
As part of this challenge, you must play, this is only if you fail it, you must play at least 10 hours of Death Stranding. The presentation must be sincere. At the end of the presentation, if either podcast host, that would be Tristan and I in this case, determines that it was not sincere, you will also be required to complete the entire game of Death Stranding.
Oh my god.
This is almost a fate worse than death.
Oh my god.
I looked up, and this is a note for you guys. If you're ever trying to figure out a time frame, I go to how long to beat, and I just look up generally how long the game takes, so I can give you a good, enough time, right? Because we don't want to rush people on these things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So it said, I won't say the time because you're going to play it, but this should be plenty enough time. It is a longer game, though, after looking it up. Not as long as P5, but...
Yeah, I believe in myself to be able to play Strikers and avoid a fate of Death Stranding. Although a monologue does sound fun, but we'll save that.
If you want to do the presentation itself, I won't stop you. I will make time in a podcast.
I mean, there was another condition that he still needs to play 10 hours. That's what you said, right?
Yeah, that's the real hard stipulation.
If he wants to do the monologue without playing the 10 hours, he can, but I don't know how you'd write a monologue without having to play
you definitely need more notes, so... Okay, I will accept the conditions of this bet.
Ooh, okay, no modifications. I like it.
I can
He's
perform
going in
this.
hard. All right, it is written. Put it in the big book of bets.
Man. I was gonna. I should have cut in earlier. I was gonna add a condition that I'll, if we do get to the punishment, I'll also send it to Sony. I'll cut it. And I'll send it to Sony and I'll CC Kojima on there.
Can you send it can you put it on a thumb drive and send it to Kojima?
Yeah. From your biggest fan.
Smile.
All right. Is there any other bets?
I mean, we gotta give you one. I'm just trying to figure out which
Hey,
one.
you don't have to. I'll be fine without
There's
one.
always more episodes.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I kick off the FF6 one now or save it for later.
I will say for the future, we will be doing bets at the end of the podcast.
Okay. Yeah, so we
This
don't
is-
have
this
a
is the-
3-hour episode.
Yeah. This is a kickoff.
Yeah.
So
We'll do like a check-in.
yeah. Well, I mean, sure. I mean, if we
I don't know,
want.
whatever you want.
Whatever
Yeah.
you want.
Might as well. We'll be playing, so, right?
I mean, you got until September 6th, so I mean, if you want to, you know, rush through it at the end of August, then you won't have an update for another 2 months, right? For Strikers, but
Okay, I'm gonna keep it light for our first bet. So, I, Tristan Jung, bid Albert Corsten the following proposal.
I will entertain your proposal.
Since we are on the Kojima train,
Oh no.
Albert has to finish Metal Gear Solid 5. He has to finish Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain by Kojima Productions.
Is that a Kojima Productions game?
Yes.
The actual end credits, like Chapter 3 end credits.
I don't know what that means, but I'll find out.
Okay, yeah. You
Like
have
there's-
to beat Chapter 3.
Yeah, you have to be. You have to get the nuke ending. No. You have to see, you have to see like the actual ending because there's so many credit sequences in the game. You can kind of
Yeah, if we say end credits, you can literally just beat the first mission. You'd be done.
Perfect. Okay.
No, you have to see the Chapter 3 like intro sequence or whatever. By how long was Strikers?
I gave until Labor Day.
Labor Day. So,
But how
September.
long was it on the thing, on the website?
I think I saw 48 hours.
Okay.
Was main completion. Just a completion. There's like the extras and completionist. I think 48 hours was the main completion.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to use my time and average it out. Let's see. Oh. Okay. I will also say Labor Day then.
Oh no! Tristan,
Yeah.
I have games to play on this summer, okay?
Phantom Pain's a meaty game. You gotta give him time for that one.
You know what? I'll give you a little bit more. I'll say end of September. Labor Day,
not
September.
too long, because there's Warhammer coming out in the fall, and there's maybe Breath of the Wild 2 coming out in the fall.
Hey man, it's
So,
up to you to
balance my time
yeah,
wisely.
you got lots of time.
Wait, Albert, have you played Ground Zeroes at all?
I have a confession to make.
Oh my god. I thought I was the only one doing confessions here.
I've never played a Metal Gear Solid game in my life.
Oh my god.
Hence why this is on my list.
Okay.
Hence why it's on my list. I'm gonna what?
Okay, so that's the bet. Sorry, let me rephrase
He
it.
just stopped. He said, "I'm gonna," and then
Finish MGS5, The Phantom Pain, by I'll give it a little bit more time. By the end of September. And if you can't complete it, the punishment is that you're gonna have to play Resident Evil 5 co-op with me.
Oh no!
It's a little chain punishment.
You know, honestly, I take 6 as like a self-punishment. I just want to play that game. That game is a ride. I love that one.
That's why I chose 5 specifically.
Yeah, 5
is really bad.
Ugh.
All right, I will accept the bet that you propose, good sir.
Okay.
And it is written in the big book of bets.
Resi 5 is only 12 hours.
Yeah, it's a short game, but...
Isn't Resi 7 even shorter? Or is that one longer? I don't know.
think
Maybe
might,
it depends.
Yeah.
There's a lot of side stuff in that game that you can do, right? I think. Maybe not.
Yeah, it's a little bit shorter. 9.5.
Mm-hmm.
All
Alrighty.
right.
Any more bets?
No, let's start off light. Like we have
No,
chosen.
I have another bet.
Oh my
I
God.
have another bet. I have another bet.
Okay.
I, Albert, bid Tristan
Oh my
the
God.
following proposal. And this one we might negotiate time frame on just because of the last bet we just made. Alright, so this bet will be that you must play to the end credits Devil May Cry 5.
Oh my god.
That's
And
a good
you
one.
have 2 months from today, or today being the acceptance date, so that would be, we'll just make it easy. We'll say the 4th of July. Oh boy,
Wow.
Independence Day. Those are the conditions. The punishment, pretty simple. You will not be allowed to play any game developed by Riot Games until you have completed this game.
So from July 4th until I finish the game.
Yes. Yes, the punishment's not active. In fact, you could play Riot Games for 2 months and then use it as a life tool to not play Riot Games.
A detox period.
Yep.
And what mode am I playing on?
I don't know any of the modes. I didn't research. You can play it however you want.
I can just play on normal or whatever it is.
Sure, you can play it on easy if you want.
Yeah, you have to unlock the harder difficulties, so you might as well just play on normal.
I looked at the playtime for this game. I think it was not even 20 hours long.
No,
it's pretty short.
Like 12 to 13.
Yeah, it's really short.
2 months, huh?
2 months. I was like, you could play this in a weekend, man. Like literally 5 hours.
You
on
could
the
if you really wanted to. Yeah.
Is my timeline, Alex, too lenient?
I'm not butting into this bet.
You're not the proposer. Sorry.
I'm not negotiating. My hands are off the table.
No, I've already said 2 months, so
Wait, what's my other bet? Wait, isn't Final Fantasy VII Remake end of July?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have to finish this game by basically beginning of July. Final Fantasy VII Remake by the end of July. I also need to finish Final Fantasy VI. I mean, I don't have to, I guess, but that's
that's
a personal preference.
And you need to play
that's not
TFT.
in any book.
And I need to play what?
TFT.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think I have 3 months on that battle pass.
Would you like to negotiate terms? Or will you accept the bet as written?
No, let's do it. All in. I'll accept the bet or accept the conditions or whatever.
All right, and it is written in the big book of bets. Tristan sealing in 2 bets, both on a similar timeline. Man, Tristan, I hope there's no games you wanted to play in the next 2 months.
Oh, well,
but they're good games.
Deathloop got postponed, so...
That's true, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have 2 more bets by then. Alright. Any final bets? If we do, this will be the last one of this episode. Any other proposals? Alright. Going once. Going twice. Okay.
I mean, we got some meaty games on here.
Close the book, and we will move on to the news. As we've said, we're in May. It's pre-E3 time. Not a lot of news coming out. Although we do have some juicy news coming from that Epic versus Apple lawsuit going on. So our first one is just an interesting thing came out about Fortnite's revenue over the past 2 years, and essentially the split between platforms. So PS4 actually led the way with 47% of the revenue, Xbox with 27.5%, iPhone with 7%, which is what the whole lawsuit's about. It's the 7%. And then the extra remaining percent is split between PC, Android, and Nintendo Switch versions. Discussion time. I was surprised that it was so heavily skewed towards PS4.
Yeah, the Sony kids, they got the big wallets, I guess. What's that all about?
I thought about this a little bit more. I feel like, well, I first of all, I agree. iOS being that low was a little bit crazy, but then I thought about it. It's usually children buying these things, right? And like if they have their own phone, I feel like you wouldn't have your mom's credit card tied to your phone. But if a PS4 is shared across your family, there's a higher chance that like one of your parents' credit cards is tied there. So it's almost like an ease of access thing, you know?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Or maybe that like everyone has a phone, especially kids nowadays, but maybe not every kid will have a PS. No, that's the opposite. That's why I thought it would sell more. What am I saying? I don't know. Crazy stuff though. Okay, but moving on. A random side note, they did reveal that over the past 2 years, Fortnite has made $9 billion. So that's for all all the money is being funneled directly into buying exclusive titles for the Epic Games Store.
Mm-hmm. I think the numbers came out for that this week as well. It was only like 12 million or something, right? Oh no, that was the free games. I think free games cost 12 million.
No, way more. I think it was they lost $400 million from the Epic Games Store this year, I think is what it was in revenue or something like that, based on deals and stuff. But they did say that they're aiming to be profitable by 2024.
Yep. That's what I saw in the news as well.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, is it surprising based on these, and every game is different, but based on Fortnite, like the most popular game of the past 5 years, I want to say, that big publishers are still pushing heavy for mobile versions of games that they're already making, showing that consoles already just make a lot of money.
Yeah, that's a difficult question because, I guess you can only just see it as a cost of development and maintaining versus what kind of profits you make out of it. Like if it's a low effort to bring in a mobile version of the title, sure, you're going to do it just if it brings in a little bit extra cash. Who cares? So I could see a push for why you'd want to have a mobile version of your game. And a lot of people, they'll just have a free break period for 15 minutes and they'll hop on their phone, play a quick round of Fortnite or whatever game they feel like playing at the moment, and then go back to
Call of Duty Warzone?
Yeah, do a quick round of Warzone. So yeah, it makes sense to me in a lot of contexts. And then in other countries, they have better public transportation options usually. So there's that other aspect as well.
Wait, sorry. I just realized this while thinking about this. I didn't have time to read through the 321 page deposition, so apologies. But
I did that, on the toilet, this morning.
Just a casual read through.
Yeah.
I wonder how many of the PS4 users or players are also an iOS player, and they just opted to buy on the PS4.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
And if they just cherry pick the numbers to make it seem like this, I don't know if it even plays in their favor if iOS is the lowest.
At the same time, I thought of a weird thing that it's Fortnite's obviously a huge game. I think it would be huge regardless of if it came out on mobile or not. Maybe that's a bad assumption to make, but I think it's this the type of game. I don't think they're very popular, but I don't think a lot of people over the age of, let's say, 18 enjoy playing mobile game shooters, right? Like the freaking little circle in the corner that you have to drag your finger on the touchscreen, and it's kind of clunky. And I haven't played one in a couple of years, so maybe they're better now that phones are more powerful. But I've never enjoyed playing shooter games on the phone or first person games. But when it comes to things like gacha games and Clash of Clans-y, style games that definitely do work really well on mobile, those are still very heavy cash cows.
Oh, yeah.
So when I think of Command and Conquer Rivals, right? That wasn't a port of a game on a console or a PC. That was a mobilified version that was designed to potentially and most likely just drip feed microtransactions and make a bunch of money.
Mm-hmm. From a known franchise, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, not a lot more to discuss on this. I just found it very interesting. Especially with the fact that Epic started a whole lawsuit over this, Apple taking...
Yeah, too much of a share, yeah.
Too much of a share of something that's only 7% of the entire revenue for this game. I wonder how the PlayStation Store does it if they take cuts on top of it. Probably not. I don't know. No one's really talked about it. If you make an in-console purchase on the PlayStation Store, or how those microtransactions are handled, I wonder.
I need to dig into this more. Because it feels a little iffy to me. In the second last paragraph, Tim Sweeney says Fortnite on iOS represented 10% of the game's total average daily players. If that's the case, 7% seems in line, right?
Yep.
It's not that crazy. I'm just wondering how they're counting the iOS players. Because you can, like, back to my prior point, because you can kind of...
If you play on both, right?
Yeah. Do you count as a PS4 player, or do you count as an iOS player?
Dunno. You'll have to talk to Tim for that one. Anyways, moving on. By the way, note for the end of year review next year, one mention of Fortnite right there.
Yep, we got it in.
All right, we had a state of play. Very short one. We had 3 games. We had Among Us coming to PlayStation.
Big surprise there.
Spoiler alert, I've still never played Among Us.
Same.
Tristan, you are in a strange group of outliers here.
He's the imposter among us.
Oh.
Uh-huh. Got him. All right, and then we also saw some Subnautica Below Zero. I think it's coming out this month. Actually, like 2 weeks, I think it's coming out. I played the original, and it scared me, and I never want to enter the ocean in my life again.
Yeah, I think this one just has more spooks. That's what I've heard.
More spooks, and like in the original game, there was like you needed to eat food, and like oxygen were like your 2, I guess, like resource meters. Of course with HP as well. In this game, there's also temperature. There's like a third.
And you freeze to death.
Yep, freeze to death too. But the big one was Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
Yeah, we got a gameplay trailer from that.
I don't even. It wasn't even. It was like 15 minutes of just pure gameplay.
Yeah, and also talking. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I want to buy this game. That's all I want to say. It looked good.
Yeah, after seeing this game and like Returnal and stuff, games are basically kind of where you kind of imagine them as a kid you'd hope they'd be, in terms of just all these beautiful lights and particle effects and everything going off. Yeah, these games look impressive. And yeah,
like they had a sequence in the trailer where you were fighting a boss and you jumped through a rift in the boss fight immediately into a whole new zone, and there wasn't like a loading screen in between the 2 zones.
Yeah.
It just like teleported you there. It's like, what the heck? Also
Seamless.
just looked really good, like Alex said.
So yeah, should be a fantastic game, I think. Yeah, it's shaping up pretty well. Because I know we were a little on the fence earlier about it when their earlier showings, but yeah, they definitely have shown that, yeah, this is a true contender. So yeah, it's going to be good.
Comes out next month.
Yeah. Yet another game for the PS5 library that it
3 games.
Sorely needs. Yep.
3 games. Where we have 4 games? How many we got?
We got Astro. We got Demon's Souls.
Yeah. I guess it's pretty... I know we always kind of shoot the piss with it, but yeah, I guess we're about on track because, yeah, PS3, PS4, they've all kind of had slow starts as well. So it's nothing new, I guess.
Well, let's be real here. It's Sony and Microsoft realize there's a chip shortage right now, right? So by not releasing good games, they help alleviate the supply issue of gamers wanting to buy a PS5.
Yeah, okay.
It's like next level Galaxy Brain strategies.
They're helping
here.
out, helping out the economy right now.
Yeah, because Sony said they're looking at probably still short supplies up into next year, I think. So yeah, that'll be rough. But
yeah, and Nvidia said the same thing too. So can't wait for that new Switch model to come out. Oh boy!
Oh my god, I want to know what it's going to look like. That's going to be a bloodbath.
Tristan, save me.
My services are always available.
How many Switches is Tristan going to have in his closet?
How many Switches is Nintendo going to make? Are they going to release like 20 of them? And then they go into the vault? Nintendo. Anyways,
moving on. We had a little leak. Not a little... And was it confirmed real? Like, the screenshots and stuff? But... preface before we go into it. Battlefield 6 had some leaked screenshots and gameplay details. Minor things are, it's a post-Battlefield 4 timeline. I think it was confirmed like US versus Russia or something like that, right? With some
it's going to be a superpower conflict, yeah.
Yep. And we had some really blurry, pixelated screenshots, so we couldn't really see how... I'm sure it looks great.
To be honest, it could have been just faked. Like...
Yeah, see, that's what
it could be. It could be easily, yeah. But
I could have made up these details.
It was still in the realm of possibility, though. I mean, it fit the bill of basically right after, I guess, Modern Warfare Battlefield 4. It's like slightly modernish kind of prototype units. We see like Ospreys in the air.
Yep. And then it did come out like right after DICE came out, and they gave an update on the franchise and said, hey, Battlefield's still coming out most likely this fall, right? It's always like an October release usually. Mm-hmm. And that there'll be more to see in the future, aka next month at E3, you bet at the EA thing, we're going to see Battlefield 6.
Yeah, and people are speculating that it's going to be similar to the original trailer for Battlefield 5, where it's not really going to have any gameplay whatsoever. It's just going to be cinematic.
Yep. And they're like, and it's 128 players, so blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And they're making a mobile game, which, oh boy.
Yeah, the extra icing on top of... It's not related to this new Battlefield project, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which is good to hear, honestly, but...
Yeah, but I still don't know how they're gonna transfer anything of the Battlefield variety to a mobile...
I mean, platform. They already said there's gonna be Royale in Battlefield 6, okay?
They did. So maybe it'll somehow tie into that, but I don't know.
I'm just fine with it being separate because it doesn't mean that design decisions they're making in the game are being made because, we need to include mobile players. Mm-hmm. So if it's a separate game...
Yeah, as long as it's separated like that, it will be fine. It'll be some weird dilution of the franchise, which is already kind of diluted anyways, so...
I think my confusion is, they say the mobile game is being built from the ground up by iToys? Who is iToys? I've never heard of them before. Google doesn't...
It's short for industrial toys, judging by the graphic on the page, but I've not heard of them either.
Alright, do they have a website? If they don't have a website...
Be afraid.
Oh, it's like an EA owned mobile game studio.
Yeah, so I figured.
Our games, the Midnight Star franchise.
And then Battlefield.
Good resume.
I swear if these people made Command & Conquer Rivals, I will never trust them.
Or, you can trust them more. Maybe they learned.
Mm-hmm. Nope. Their games section on their website, by the way, is completely empty. As a part of EA, we're working on something new. We'll share details soon. Oh, where do you know it's Battlefield? Okay. Anyways, cool stuff. Alex, are you hype? I know you're a modern Battlefield guy.
Yeah, and I've actually recently reinstalled Battlefield 4 again to play it some more. Even though I'm playing Modern Warfare at the same time, so I'm kind of double dipping. But yeah, I am honestly ready to see modern Battlefield, and I was a big fan of 2142 in the day, and I don't think this game's going to get anywhere near that level of technological buffoonery, but yeah, I think that should be a fun setting to do, where you get a lot of prototype weapons of the modern era, see them shine, and maybe even some failed projects that kind of got shelved. So we'll see.
I did say if they took the gunplay from Battlefield 5 and stuck it in a modern setting,
yeah, it'll feel super good.
An amazing game.
It will. It will feel very good to have a game that has the Battlefield 5 gunplay. They just don't. Hopefully, they learn from their mistakes of Battlefield 5's active service. I would say, in terms of releasing like large scale time to kill updates for no reason, things like that.
Oh, I thought you meant just having a battle pass.
Oh, I didn't really have any complaints about how they handled their. I don't even remember.
Tides of
War system.
Yeah, that was fine. It was free. You didn't have to pay for it.
Yeah, it was fine. So I didn't really have a problem with that. And the loot boxes and stuff weren't like super invasive or anything. So yeah, I had no problems with how they monetized the game. It was just, really just the random balancing updates that really didn't have any rhyme or reason. Large scale, for that matter, where they just like completely changed systems of the game for no reason, really.
But you'll be upset, Alex, when they add the Vladimir Putin skin and they make it so you can use it on either side, so you can just have a whole group of American Vladimir Putins running around. Yeah,
that was probably my one gripe is, the legendary soldiers of just any faction on a side. It was ridiculous looking, but that's a minor old man gripe where I just don't really care about skins all that much.
Yep.
Yeah, should be great. I really hope the trailer's good. And I hope it's at E3. I want to see it in the near future.
Oh, it's definitely. If this was like E3, they'd have like a huge, we have 128 people in a booth and they're all going to play in one big match together.
All these big Twitch influencer personalities.
Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, there we go.
Snoop Dogg's going to be here. And LeBron James is going to be here.
Shit.
Yeah, going to get everyone.
Man, this party's getting wild. All right.
Put Kojima in there. Put Kojima in the booth.
And Jeff. They'll be in a 2-man jet together.
Oh, man. And then Del Toro's like, no! All right. Our last thing is more of a fun one. It was like a weird job posting from Respawn saying, quote, that the position will pioneer new ways to enable adventuring until the heat death of the universe.
Yeah, so what do you think the work hours are like for a position like that?
Hey, it said they have a
hard zero policy against crunch. And
a hard zero policy, zero tolerance policy against crunch at Respawn.
All right.
But I was just like, is that actually related to the game they're making, or is that just some highly buzzwordy, crazy thing?
Yeah, that's actually a game feature. That's a new type of game feature that we've never heard about.
Oh, so this is like the Matrix, where they plug you into the machine, and then until the heat death of the universe. It's like SAO. You're stuck in the machine.
My initial thought when I heard heat death of the universe was like No Man's Sky. They're building No Man's Sky 2 or something like that.
That's
That's the only game where they have like spouted this type of ridiculous phrase.
I like it. Anyways, it brought me to a weirder realization, and there's not much, discussion about this job posting. It's just a basic job posting on a new IP that they're generating. But I think we might have talked about it before, but has Respawn essentially become the flagship studio of EA?
Yeah, I think so. I heard Apex made a buttload of money.
It's because it has that guy in it that only Alex remembers the name of. Mirage. Yeah, that guy.
I think that's like the one Apex character I know.
No, I was like thinking while reading this and like pondering that question. It was like, in the 2000s, right? It was BioWare was like the golden child of EA.
Yeah, when they were all about storytelling and, deep, rich environments, all that, yeah.
Yep, and they made like Dragon Age, and they had like KOTOR, and they had Mass Effect, right? Like they were the studio. Mm-hmm. And then I feel like it's been a little more wishy-washy, but honestly, I think it was like DICE for like the early 2010s, right? With Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4. Like DICE was the poster child of EA.
Yeah, and then BF5 kind of caused some rifts with that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, BF5 caused some rifts, but honestly, like BF1 too. BF1 wasn't a was a botched game, but it just wasn't popular, right? Mm-hmm. And then there was the whole like, I guess it was Criterion who made it, but there was like Battlefield Hardline, and just the Battlefield franchise has kind of been rickety for the past 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, that kind of thing that sort of happens with a lot of EA IPs.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, I wonder why it keeps happening.
So, yeah, and essentially, I feel like, like Vince is essentially just leading the hype. I mean, they had, they started off with Apex, right? Or they didn't start with Apex, sorry, they started off
Titanfall.
with, what?
Titanfall.
Yeah, Titanfall, and then they did Apex, or Titanfall 2, I guess, if you want to go into like specifics, but then they went to Apex, then they went to, Fallen Order, right? Mm-hmm. And now they're doing something else new. And there were rumors that they were working on another Star Wars game, I think, as well, or maybe that was a different EA studio, but, I feel like they're getting all the cool stuff, so.
Yeah, they're definitely the darling, and Vince is kind of their head man, because he's been, I believe, doing some, restructuring of the LA DICE studio for a new project that they're going to be working on. So maybe we'll see something about that in E3 as well.
Titanfall 3?
Yeah, that would be interesting, because I know a lot of people are Titanfall 2 diehards out there.
No. He's going to come out, and he's going to be like, we have our new game. And then he'll display the logo. Oh, yeah,
this is Vince, I forgot, yeah.
Yeah, he'll sit in the back of the audience, and he'll be like, and that's all we have to show you.
Yep. It has Jedi.
Probably one of the worst game announcements I've ever
seen. Yeah, I forgot about that. Man, that was a great bit.
But the game wasn't bad. The game wasn't bad, though.
You set the bar low.
Yeah, you did.
Aha! So Gollum is going to be an amazing game.
True. Yeah.
Anyways, that's all I had. Any more comments on this one? Tristan, you've been relatively quiet today. I'm just gonna bring that up.
I'm like
on blast.
I have Final Fantasy VII Remake and DMC-V in my head.
Mm-hmm. Top of mind.
How am I gonna beat these video games?
You have like 3 months, alright? Maybe if you played less TFT and played a game on your backlog
intervention?
instead. You know, this might have been a whole elaborate plot to be an intervention to get Tristan's backlog. Alex and I may or may not have a deal between us that we will only make bets for Tristan.
Ultimate collusion on the back end.
Yep. The big lie, one might even say. Alright, everyone, that wraps it up for episode 71 of Viewport Relay. Viewport Relay is available on Radio Public, iTunes, Google Music, Stitcher, Podbean, and all your favorite podcast directories. If you enjoyed this episode, please take a moment to subscribe, review, and share it with your friends. We're also on social media as Viewport Gaming on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. But Tristan, why Viewport Gaming?
Well, Viewport Relay is part of Viewport Gaming, a website that provides a look into video games through reviews, features, and podcasts. You can find all Viewport content at viewportgaming.com.
Thank you, Tristan. And as always, I've been your host, Albert Corson, joined by Tristan Jung.
Goodbye.
And Alex Nestor.
See you next time.